Hello again, folks. Day 7 here on C Vlog, Vloggy C's, Mr. C's Vlog. So, before I babble on for hours and hours about all the fun things that I love and that I want to incorporate into the classroom, it's really important that we look at why we want to incorporate media text in the class. And luckily I got a couple scholars here to back me up. For example, Dr. Alan Luke, in his article titled The New Literacies, says that in order for educators to be effective, that we must align our educational programs with what students will face in the 21st century. Now, if we look at how technology has advanced in just merely the last decade, we have to realize that we have no idea. We can't possibly understand what students are going to face in the next 25 years. To put the massive changes in the last decade in perspective, the first iPod was put on the market in 2001, and according to Wikipedia, it had 5 GB hard drive, not much else. It was 1,000 songs in your pocket. So that's how they pitched it. Now, if we look at the iPod released this year, the iPod Touch 3, you got a 35 GB hard drive, you got more apps than you can check a fist at, you got a Wi-Fi connection, you can check your email, you can do basically anything. It's a small computer. That change, again, it's monumental, it's huge, and that's not even 10 years. If you look at things like, 10 years ago there was no YouTube, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter. You couldn't even see this video probably. There was no 3D movies. There was no Perez Hilton. The information available at your fingertips through Google has only been released 12 years ago. September 1998, Google was launched for the first time. So if this trend continues, if this massive trend, look at all this technology that we've developed recently, if this trend continues, then even the best science fiction writers of our time can't possibly understand what our students are going to face. So this begs the question, obviously, what do we do? How do we prepare students for these mediums that are going to come? And I mean, typically speaking, in our traditional literacy programs, when we consider media text, we consider the medium through which that media text is portrayed. So when you study poetry, you look at a sonnet, you look at the structure of a sonnet because that has meaning. As Marshall McLuhan put it, the medium is the message. How we portray something is the message. That's more important than the message itself. But unfortunately, for Mr. McLuhan and for traditional literacy programs, we don't know what the next medium will be, and we are charged with preparing students for that medium. So, again, the question is begged. How do we do it? What do we do? What is there to do? Where are we going to go from this? And luckily, lots of research was done. So, Sacha Barab suggested in his online interview titled a new media engagement. That textbooks they've had their time in the sun, that the printed medium can no longer be applicable because of the changing world and how quickly things are changing. And I'm inclined to agree with them. In order for us to really focus on these needs that students are going to have in the 21st century and prepare them for it, we need to move past printed text. We need to move on to mediums that can change quickly and rapidly, things that can be responded instantly, text that can be changed at the touch of a button. Those things are what we need to prepare our students for. But again, we need to look at then how do we prepare for something we can't know anything about. And I believe that the answer to that is to focus on the purpose behind conventions. So we stop looking at conventions and we start focusing on the reasoning behind those conventions. Why are those conventions used? Why am I saying this into a video camera? Why am I not simply writing it down? Why am I doing it this way? And if we can look past that, what we're going to do is we're going to have a surface level that students are going to skate on for a while, and they're going to look at. She's got curly hair. He's really funny. He's weird. I don't know. But what's more important is looking through that, looking to the deeper level, and I think that's where we really need to get students to look. And Dr. Mark Ouellette explains in his online journal Reconstruction that his goal when teaching cultural studies, which he says the primary goal of teaching cultural studies is to teach critical and analytical thinking skills. What he says is that in order to teach students critical thinking, the best thing to do is to teach students things that they do not know about what they already know. Essentially, if we can take something that students assume they know everything about and make them look deeper at it, make them see the innate qualities that they missed before, the biases, the prejudices that are built into those things, then that is going to be a better learning experience for them. That will hook them into critical thinking, and when we start looking through that critical thinking and deconstructing the medium as opposed to just looking at the text itself, looking at the message, we look at the medium, and beyond the medium, we look at the reason behind the medium. That's when the true learning takes place, and that's how we hook our students. We need to prepare them to deconstruct everything and everything they're going to see, because that's the type of literacy that they're going to be prepared for in this world that we don't know what they're going to be prepared for. That's the best thing we can do, is to teach them how to look at everything for its pieces. So if we can agree upon that, and it appears that most scholars do, then it's very important to incorporate texts that are media based, that that are ever changing, that are at the sort of the forefront, that students see on a daily basis, that they know and they understand, and to make them look more critically at it. And the next question, of course, how do we do that? How do I take this media text? How do I incorporate that into my classroom? So you can find out tomorrow. Tune in, same bat channel, Collinson channel. In the meantime, make sure you watch lots of Old Spice commercials. All right.